I didn't know what to write on that. I was struggling in Spanish for like 2 grades and nothing.
Report or when we do the lieutenant's report?
No, it's under his report.
Okay. Got it?
When we go in close.
Dan, turn it down.
I'm good. Good. Turn into a nice cold. Pour some warm water on it.
Okay.
Yep.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting in order. Would everyone please rise for a short prayer and salute to our flag? God, grant us the wisdom to make those decisions that are in the best interest of all of our residents. May the Heavenly Father of us all bless those who have given the ultimate sacrifice in service to our nation, and may He watch over and protect our servicemen and women now guarding the gates of freedom. Salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Terry, statement of publication, please.
Yes, take notice that this regular meeting of the Mayor and Borough Council being held on this 8th day of April 2019 has been advertised and posted in accordance with Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Buchanan.
Here.
Delina.
Here.
Enriquez.
Here.
Kilpatrick. Here. McGill. Novak.
Here.
Thank you. At this time, I move that the following minutes be received and filed, subject to correction, the March 25th, 2019 regular and agenda session meeting,
Second.
as well as the March 6th, 2019 receipt of bids.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Buchanan.
Yes?
Delina.
Yes.
Enriquez.
Yes.
Kilpatrick.
Yes.
McGill. Yes. Novak.
Yes.
So I'm sure you guys aren't all here just to watch us at this council meeting tonight. It is a great night. We have a couple championship teams here. So if the council will join me up to the front, and coaches, please come to the front. Come on, ladies. Let's start with the varsity first.
Back on and just see what happens.
Varsity High School.
Okay, coaches, if you could just discuss what you guys accomplished.
Hi, everybody. I'm the head varsity coach, and this is.
My name is Mrs. Lynch, middle school.
Hello.
early.
Okay, so the varsity team this year, for the first time in history, we've won the NJCDCA state championship for our division, and this is the first time in history they've won. We had a really great season. Every competition, we came in first place. They worked really hard this year, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds in store for them.
So tonight we are giving you, yes, let me just take the top one. We're giving you a certificate from the mayor and council. It's the Borough of Saraville Certificate of Achievement, and it is to the Saraville Bombers varsity cheerleading team for placing first in the large varsity all music division of the NJCDCA, easy for me to say, state cheerleading championship, and it's signed by the mayor and the full council. We're very proud of you. We're very proud of your accomplishments. I do see some alumni from the program out in the audience tonight. And I always say this, once a bomber, always a bomber. We enjoy hearing your successes. We enjoy when you guys can come here and get honored. And at this point, I'm going to have your coaches read off the names on the certificates. And if you can come up one at a time, and then I'm going to have the council say something as well.
Okay, I'm just gonna call everybody's names. Some girls are not here, but the first one is Yasmin Agostini, Sungya Macaulay, Nina Zurich, Maddie Miller, Lauren Alcacid, Jenna Rubel, Jessica Redding, Jillian Green, Caitlin Barbosa, Kayla Demoa, Haley Redding, Gabby Titone, Emily Calantoni, Dorian Kaiser, Krista Winkler, Caroline Konyarski, Brielle Trinidad, Amanda Lessie, Amanda Mazden, Amaya Holan, Alani Crump, Elise Lerner, and Alyssa Malkin.
Ladies, I would just like to say congratulations on your accomplishments. The achievements that you guys have done have been great for our town and great for your school as well. Congratulations.
Congratulations, girls. So many people say that cheerleading isn't a sport, but we all know it's a really tough sport. You're great athletes, you're very poised, and you really shine for Saraville. Congratulations.
This is a really extra special night because not only do we get to honor the varsity ladies here for all their accomplishments, but also to have a middle school team here to look and see and have such great role models in front of you. So hopefully the things that the varsity has achieved as you make your way through the cheerleading organization, through school, you'll be back up here again. So to the varsity girls, congratulations. Coaches, parents, congratulations. And let's be back here again next year.
Congratulations, ladies. It's really great to come here each year and find out I'm a little bit older than I was last year. You've done a fantastic job, and again, we will see you next year. Congratulations. Job well done.
Ladies, I see a lot of familiar faces that came up through the Panthers, the Leprechauns, some Saraville Junior Bombers. It's very satisfying and gratifying to see all you standing up here, knowing that you came through, most of you came through the town and learned through our coaches that we have in this town and representing this town. Winning states is really an immense feat. So congratulations again, and let's just keep this going every year, all right? Bye.
Ladies, once again, congratulations. It was, I'm sure, not an easy road, but one that you guys took head on, and you made us all proud. So again, congratulations. So not just one championship team, two championship teams.
First of all, thank you very much for inviting us here tonight. And once again, thank you so much to our parents of both teams, because without you, I mean, we wouldn't be here. It's you guys that are driving them, picking them up, getting there at 5:30 in the morning for competitions. Just thank you. And most of all, thank you to our athletes. So this is the first time in middle school history, after we calculated 7 years at states, always placed third, second, and now first. And it was an amazing, amazing feeling. So, yeah. So congrats to you guys. Do you want me to say more? They're like, talk more positive about us.
So again, you're getting a certificate of achievement from the Borough of Saraville, and it's presented to the Saraville Middle School cheerleading team for placing first in the middle school division of the NJC DCA State Cheerleading Championship, signed by the Mayor and Borough Council. So again, we're going to have your ladies' names announced.
Stephanie D'Oliveri, Sarah Torino, Megan Zori, Maya Jackson, Rachel Cruz, Sarah Lorenz, Kylie Teschler, Lacey Kent, Leah Pavlik, Liliana DeCunha, Madison Doherty, Kylie Pesci, Jasmine Gonzalez, Jaden Mann, Isabella Negron, Jaden Kaiser, I'll meet you. Gianna Pesci, Emma Milne, Emma Hochran, Danielle, Crystal Margata, Cadence Barton, Christina Fritz, Alyssa Palanca, Amaris Ailman, Alicia Miller, and Abigail Lukey.
Again, we have two teams who are two champions. I feel like every sports team that plays at the high school or any other level is a champion. I come from Woodbridge, and where we didn't win a darn thing. So it's nice to see this, and it's good for our town. And congratulations, ladies. Congratulations, coaches, parents. Great job.
Again, congratulations, great athletes. and you do Sayreville proud.
Once again, just to reiterate, this is history making, right, coaches? Both teams, so continue to make history for Sayreville and for yourselves. Best of luck always, ladies.
Again, congratulations. Vicki brought up a good point. I think you should, a little applause for the coaches. All that time spent to help you ladies, and you'll be back here next year. God bless.
Again, ladies, congratulations, and let's not leave out the parents. A lot of you know I'm a cheer parent myself, so the parents definitely deserve a huge round of applause for the time they put in, bringing you to practices, competitions, and everything else. So congratulations again.
Again, ladies, congratulations. You made us very proud. Some of you I remember when you were little actually playing softball, and now you guys are grown ladies getting ready for high school. Congratulations to all of you, to your coaches, and to the families out there. So again, you guys might have a little extra work tomorrow in school, but so we're going to have you guys can head home and get a good night's sleep for tomorrow. But again, congratulations from the Borough of Sayreville.
You're so nervous, this guy. I don't like thank you for tomorrow night. Or to bed. Tell people who aren't here that he'll flip it now. And he's left on his own. So we're like, do we dress nice again? Okay, sure. So you don't think we dress nice? Yeah. I put together a very nice business outfit.
13 and 14 years old.
Do you want to borrow my
Do these girls represent Sayreville High School? Or is this a separate cheer organization?
They're the high school. Middle school.
Yeah.
They say varsity and high school.
No, they could be freshmen through seniors.
Don't worry, girls. Rings are on the way.
We're going to become an old man. Come on, I got to keep levity going about it.
Okay, at this point, I'm going to stray from the agenda a little bit. I know we have some Girl Scouts here. Can we have you guys come up and explain what you're trying to do? Now, when you come up to the microphone, just state your name and that you're from Sayreville.
Hello everybody, my name is Lexi Alinsky. I am a cadet Girl Scout with Troop 80534, and today we are here to get your permission.
Hold on 1 second, hold on 1 second. We just got to close the door just to make the sound. All right, there you go.
And today we are here to hopefully get permission from you guys to post Little Free Libraries all through the town parks. A Little Free Library is a small box with books where the public can either exchange or find new reading material. This is one of the 6 we have built and painted ourselves. And a couple of the locations, yeah, it made ourselves, that's what I said. A couple of locations that we most likely have pre-approved with pre-approved from working with the mayor in the past are the Veterans Park, Kennedy's Park, Waterfront Park, the Julian Capuchin Nature Preserve, the Capic Nature Preserve, the corner of Sayreville Boulevard in Washington near the New Jersey Transit bus stop and shelter, the corner of Sayreville Boulevard where South Washington, And we hope as the citizens of Sayreville see all these Little Free Libraries, they may consider installing a location in their own yard too. By doing this, we will not only encourage people to read, but take little greater interest in our neighborhoods, in attracting and get to know their neighbors, and make Sayreville a friendlier place to live. Thank you for listening to me. Now my fellow Scouts will speak.
My name is Katya Kraus, and I'm going to talk about what we need. Okay, so what we would like to, well, first of all, we would like to get the places approved. We already thought we had them approved by the mayor, better safe than sorry. So then we would like help putting them on posts and into the ground. And then, so that would be great. But if we cannot do that, we would like to know what kinds of posts we need, like the types, dimensions, length, all that stuff. And then do they need cement at the bottom? Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it for my part.
So my name is Kiera Stuber, and I would like to know if we have permission to plant native bee and butterfly friendly plants around the bottom of the Little Free Libraries.
Oh, just a little bit of a question here. First of all, ladies, I can't say enough. Excellent job coming up here. I know it's sometimes nerve-wracking when you have to speak, and you guys did a great job. I'm lucky I get to talk to Lexi. She's actually in the language arts class across the hall from me. So when she said, Mrs. Kilpatrick, how can I get this information out to the whole council? By all means, I said, well, the best thing to do is just show up here and, of course, send an email, which she did. And ladies, you did an excellent job. I think my favorite is the young lady in the middle who said, let me tell you what we need, because that's, and for such a great thing, as a language arts teacher, of course, I'm going to promote and be behind this project 100%. Anytime you can put a book in somebody's hand, you make me happy. One question, though, to this young lady. Did you say butterfly and bee friendly?
Mm-hmm.
Do we want the bee friendly ones right under the box?
Not under the box, like behind the box.
Behind it. That would be better. I don't want anyone trying to get a book and then being chased away by a bee. But it's a great way to beautify and, like you guys said, to actually let people really be proud of our community. Wonderful job, ladies.
Anyone else?
I can take this.
Well,
Mary.
I think it's a great job. Unfortunately, there isn't one of us up here that could say what's necessary for putting that up. I don't, Jay?
I think we probably work with Public Works, if that's gonna go through the all the installation for you. I think we have to go to the new locations, needs for permits and things like that.
And just basically what it would entail. Does it need something that's concreted in? What size post that would hold that box? You know, it's kind of a big box. It's not gonna sit up there with a 2x4.
So should we then
Well,
recommend them
I think it's a great project. The one name I did hear was the waterfront park, county waterfront park, which is a county park. So
Yeah.
we'd have to go through the county as well for that. Because that's not, it's in Sayreville, but it's not our park.
In Sayreville.
It's the county's park.
Okay.
But that's something that we can all work out together.
We can't give you permission on the county's park right now.
We can work on that.
We can work on it for you.
Okay, so if that's not going to work out, what would be another alternate location for that?
Great, a
Work?
follow-up question. I
It
love
might work out.
I don't
We
know if
just
it
have
will.
to
Yeah,
talk
we'll
to
work
them.
with them.
Okay.
We'll
How
see.
about at Borough Hall? Did you mention Borough Hall?
Yes, we did.
You did?
Yeah,
We
we
did
have
Veterans Park behind Borough Hall.
Veterans Park, okay.
So should these young ladies then submit their needs and questions, maybe to Jay and to Public Works?
We'd have to go through Bernie.
And then, once we
Well,
find.
first of all, does anyone have an objection?
No objection.
Okay.
No
That's the first
objection.
good thing. That's a positive.
I don't think people in Public Works are gonna know exactly what is gonna be needed. I think we need a little bit of professional advice on.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Jay.
Who built the prototype?
Actually, this is one of the ones that we were hopefully gonna post.
We already
So
have
this is
them
the
built.
actual thing, and our whole troop built it.
Okay.
Sadly, our whole troop couldn't arrive, only 3 of us, but
Can you just turn it on its bottom for 1 second?
Because the camera's
Actually,
back
our
there.
entire troop is 10 girls. This was a bronze project, which is the capstone project for 4th and 5th graders. Now they're moving on to a silver project, and so
Now we've
part of the
extended
Garden
it.
idea is to
Yeah.
extend it and then incorporate that into this. So this is what the bottom looks like. We had talked to the mayor's office and gotten these 6. They actually talked to the mayor's office and got these 6 locations approved. He said that he had spoken with the council maybe in the past. This is literally like a year and a half ago. These took much longer to construct. I don't know if you can tell or not, but they're pretty substantial. This plexiglass alone cost a substantial
I was
amount of money.
expensive for
Much, yes.
plexiglass.
Shockingly expensive. Shocking. Anyway, but
We all
so,
got together at my house after we built them all to paint them, and then the deck was permanently stained green.
yeah, we may add some additional like decorations to represent the different levels of Girl Scouts.
Absolutely.
I'm one of their troop leaders. I'm Dr. Nicole Kraus. Nice to meet you. Yeah. No, we have all 6 built. They're completed. The
just
thing
need
that
to be
we're concerned
posted.
about with dimensions, do you guys want to explain why we're worried about the posts?
Yeah, the post is because this is quite a heavy and bulky box. So we're wondering if you guys wanted just one big post or put like 4 at the corners of each. And since it's a big
Yeah.
bulky box, we're wondering if you guys want to do cement at the bottom, so it's gonna be like, staying through like storms and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why none of us are in professions in that, except for maybe down the end all the way. But we'll work with the Public Works and our engineer to figure out how we can do it the right way, the best way.
We have help with this in terms of a
The muscle.
very good craftsman Mr. Alinsky.
I do a lot of woodworking. I bet you if we support, make a small platform with some 2x4 and put a 4x4 post, go down at least 36 inches. It won't move.
We just don't want to conflict with like mowers that might go by. So we want to make sure that we conform to whatever specifications you need to make it a semi-permanent structure, right? And we'll check on it in terms of vandalism and things like that on a fairly regular basis. We've also got a commitment, I'm actually the president of the Friends of the Library. So we have a commitment from the Friends of the Library to fill all 6 boxes for the first round.
Excellent.
But I think our families have been hoarding books long enough. There should be a really good turnover. I just think it's a nice, we appreciate your support very much.
I think it's a grand idea.
Thanks.
Thanks.
In my business, I travel a lot. I work in small towns. And you see these.
Yeah.
Nobody really had to figure out how to get it up. Oh, it'll go up.
Yeah.
All right, one way or another, it'll get up. But it brings a cohesiveness to the community that people can drop off and pick out books. I'm an avid reader, whether it's audio books or reading on my own. And yes, anything for a book.
The girls thought
This is
also about
fantastic.
having a consistent design, at least at first, and putting them in public places. Normally, these are posted, Little Free Libraries are on private property. So like I could put one in my yard. I live on Washington Road. But we thought we would try to hit places that have foot traffic that are slightly farther from where the books are, which is normally the library.
Yeah, the libraries. Because I've noticed in a couple of like, I've noticed, what is it called? In my like couple of my classmates and just people, just the kids in general, I don't see bigger kids like my age going to parks, having fun on the playgrounds anymore. They're usually inside. So if we like put more interesting books like for people like my age, maybe they'll be at the parks. I'm not 100% sure, but hopefully it's a
Good effort.
try.
Yeah.
And doing something constructive.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. I think it's a great idea, like I said, and if you can give your contact information to our clerk, we can coordinate how we can get them up and exactly the what we need to do with the county park. That's the one concern I have is the county park.
We might skip that county park then and just move to a different, we're not.
I
our parks are
wouldn't
not
skip it yet.
pressed.
I wouldn't skip it yet because there's a lot of foot traffic there.
All right.
And for my job, I drive throughout the whole entire state, and I did see something similar to this, and I thought it was a great idea, and I think you hit it on the head here. And good job.
So the camera.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, absolutely.
I think the waterfront.
Millions and millions of viewers that we have. I know. Everyone comes up and says they watch it.
I think you should open it. There you go. We've got a model book.
Yes.
That would work. Yes.
So these
but no.
might get a little more decorative because we are Girl Scouts. But the green and white, those are our primary colors for Girl Scouts. And we thought it would be nice. We may also
Excellent.
incorporate other silver projects that other Girl Scouts and other areas have done where they list like books with female heroines, that sort of thing. And then, kind of make this like a little spot where people could get public information too about resources, programming at the library, things like that.
Again, to extend it to our silver project, we were considering putting the small, like native plants at the bottom.
And maybe information about, right?
Yeah, information about them and stuff.
Maybe not the bees. Good
Me,
point.
just thinking.
You want to ask about the other garden while you're here too? You could ask.
Sure.
Can they ask one more
Absolutely.
question? Sorry, thanks, we have you, so.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Thanks for your patience.
Oh, no problem.
Just explain.
So we were thinking of putting a garden in Bailey Park for the wildlife, because like animal populations, they're like declining because of all human activity in the area. So we were figuring if we put like a garden in there, that would attract like other species of like native animals and stuff. That'd be like helpful to the environment.
Plus, the park isn't being used for much anymore since the lake is kind of polluted. So an alternate idea for the park would be to open it up to wildlife and stuff. So, yeah.
And
excellent
hopefully
idea.
get like a better structure there so our kids could enjoy all around it.
It'd be great to get in contact with the environmental committee and especially Elise Barone, because I know that when we were looking at doing some upgrades to that park, she worked with a team of individuals that had some really great ideas about ways to put maybe even walking trails at some point in there. And I think it would be great to hear from you guys. I think she would really be inspired to see that the young people here in town really do care about that park
If
as
I
well.
could get her contact information, I would
Absolutely.
gladly email her in the next couple days.
Absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely.
And,
Yes.
and it's a great location because I know for years you guys had, the Girl Scouts had their camporee there.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate,
We want to resurrect it.
Yeah.
I love this
Maybe we'll
idea.
call it Park
Reunite.
Native Park Lazarus or something.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank
Very
you.
brave of you to come up here and great ideas, and I appreciate you coming up and
Thank you for your time.
thank you.
Thank you for emailing me back. Thank you for listening to us and everything. It was kind of nervous for me emailing you guys because usually I don't do this stuff. But after I got it over with, I realized how big of an accomplishment I feel and how I made and how like I could have the little brownies and daisies and juniors look up to me and stuff about this type of
Absolutely.
stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you
So
so
it's all
much.
about getting out of your comfort zone.
Wonderful,
Thank you.
ladies.
Absolutely.
job.
Great job. Yes, please. Now you're on TV.
Great job, girls.
It's well constructed.
Jay, maybe they should leave the box or send it over to your office. Yeah, Public Works.
Thanks again. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Okay, next item. Proclaiming the month of April 2019 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Got a long one. No. Whereas Sexual Assault Awareness Month and the observance of Denim Day are intended to draw attention to the fact that sexual violence is widespread and has public health implications for every community member of Middlesex County, including lifelong mental health impact. And whereas sexual assault, sexual abuse, and sexual harassment greatly impact our community, as statistics indicate 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys are sexually abused before the age of 18, with many more experiencing other types of sexual violence in their adult life. And whereas prevention is possible, so we must work together to educate our community about what can be done to stop sexual violence while supporting survivors. And whereas staff and volunteers of anti-violence and prevention programs in Middlesex County, including the Middlesex County Center for Empowerment and Sexual Violence Prevention Coalition, encourage every person to speak out when witnessing acts of violence, however small, and to challenge the social norms that continue to perpetuate a culture of violence. And whereas the New Jersey Sex Crimes Officers Association and the Middlesex County Sex Crimes Liaison Officers, in connection with the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office, are dedicated to ensuring the effective investigation and prosecution of sex crimes in our community through interagency collaboration and training. And whereas the leadership, dedication, and encouragement there is compelling evidence that we can be successful in reducing sexual violence in Middlesex County through increased awareness, prevention, education focused on increasing gender equity, health relationships, and bystander intervention, and holding perpetrators who commit acts of violence responsible for their actions. And whereas throughout the month of April, Middlesex County strongly support the efforts of national, state, and local partners and of every citizen to actively engage in public and private efforts, including conversations about what sexual violence is, how to prevent it, how to help survivors connect with services, and how every segment of our society can work together to better address sexual violence. And now, therefore, Kennedy O'Brien, Mayor of the Borough of Saraville, in collaboration with Middlesex County, do hereby proclaim April 2019 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and that we join anti-sexual violence advocates and support service programs in the belief that all community members must be part of the solution to end sexual violence and encourage the observance of Denim Day on Wednesday, April 24th, 2019. In witness whereof, I have caused this proclamation to be issued and the official seal of the borough duly affixed this 8th day of April 2019, and the same duly attested by the municipal clerk. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Terry, old business?
Under old business, we have the public hearing on the following ordinance. Ordinance number 447-19, bond ordinance amending and supplementing bond ordinance number 423-18, heretofore finally adopted on July 23, 2018, entitled Bond Ordinance Providing for Hercules Village Water Improvements in the Borough of Saraville, New Jersey, appropriating $675,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $675,000 bonds and notes of the borough for financing part of such appropriation, to increase the appropriation therein by $110,000, and to increase the authorization of bonds or notes therein by $110,000 to finance the additional costs thereof.
I'm going to open it up to the public. Any questions or comments concerning ordinance 447-19? If no comments, I'll entertain a motion. Councilman McGill?
Thank you, Council President. I move the public hearing be closed, the ordinance adopted on second and final reading, and advertised according to law.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilpersons McGill,
Yes.
Buchanan,
Yes.
Delina,
Yes.
Enriquez,
Yes.
Kilpatrick,
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
New business.
Were there any appointments tonight?
Oh, yes. I'm going to make a motion that we appoint Elise Barone back to the Recreation Advisory Board. Yes. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And make a motion Bob Havens gets reappointed to the Recreation Advisory Board. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? New business.
Under new business, we have the introduction of the following ordinances. Ordinance number 448-19, an ordinance of the Borough of Saraville amending and supplementing Article 3 of Chapter 26, Land Development of the Code of the Borough of Saraville to establish a new affordable housing districts AH1 and AH2, and to set forth the standards and criteria applicable thereto.
Is there a motion? Planning and zoning? Councilman Delina?
I move the ordinance be approved on first reading, advertised according to law, and a public meeting to be held on April
Mike.
27th.
No, it's going to be heard on May 19th, and it's going to be a special meeting.
May 13th?
All of them?
Are they
Yeah,
on May
they're all-
13th?
May
Right.
13th.
Right,
May 13th.
because they're, the planning board's going to hold a special meeting on the 23rd, I believe, or 24th.
So we're not doing any action until after that.
Second.
Public hearing will be held after, following the planning board special meeting.
Understood.
Yes, and our first meeting in May, which will be May 13th.
There was a motion. Was there a second?
Yeah.
Roll call?
Councilperson, excuse me, Delina,
Yes.
Buchanan.
Yes.
Enriquez.
Yes.
Kilpatrick.
Yes.
McGill.
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Introduction of ordinance number 449-19, an ordinance of the Borough of Saraville amending and supplementing Article 3 of Chapter 26, Land Development of the Code of the Borough of Saraville to establish new affordable housing districts, AH3, and to set forth the standards and criteria applicable thereto.
Is there a motion, Councilman Delina?
I move the ordinance be approved on first reading, advertised according to law, at a public meeting hearing to be held on May 13, 2019.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilperson Delina?
Yes.
Buchanan?
Yes.
Enriquez?
Yes.
Kilpatrick?
Yes.
McGill?
Yes.
Novak?
Yes.
Introduction of ordinance number 450-19, an ordinance supplementing and amending Article 3 of Chapter 26 Land Development of the Revised General Ordinance of the Borough of Sayreville to permit affordable accessory apartments in the Office Services Overlay Zone.
Is there a motion, Councilman Delina?
I move the ordinance be approved on first reading, advertised according to law, and a public hearing be held on May 13, 2019.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilperson Delina?
Yes.
Buchanan?
Yes.
Enriquez?
Yes.
Kilpatrick?
Yes.
McGill?
Yes.
Novak?
Yes.
Introduction of ordinance number 451-19, an ordinance adopting the River Road Redevelopment Plan Amendment.
Is there a motion?
I move the ordinance be approved on first reading, advertised according to law, and a public hearing be held on May 13, 2019.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilperson Delina?
Yes.
Buchanan?
Yes.
Enriquez?
Yes.
Kilpatrick?
Yes.
McGill?
Yes.
Novak?
Okay, at this time, I'm going to open the public portion for consent agenda resolutions. This is for consent agenda items only, number 102 through 115. Does anyone have any comments or concerns regarding these resolutions? If none, I will make a motion that we close the public portion and approve the resolutions on roll call vote.
Second.
Who seconded that? Was it tie
Mary.
over there?
Mary.
Councilpersons Buchanan?
Yes?
Delina?
Yes.
Enriquez?
Yes.
Kilpatrick?
Yes.
McGill?
Yes.
Novak?
Okay. CFO's report? Engineers report? Borough Attorney's report?
Yes, Mayor, we just have a couple things that we need to house cleaning. I'm gonna, what?
It's not really housekeeping, it's new.
Well, it's new business. It's okay. It's a resolution to appropriate funds or bonds in the event of a shortfall in the funding for the borough's housing program. We also need a resolution adopting the affirmative marketing plan for the borough of Sayreville. And then also the final is a resolution authorizing to refer the amended waterfront redevelopment plan to the planning board. This is all in accordance with the special master's review and comments.
Okay.
Yep. These three resolutions will be on for the next meeting. I thought Sarah was kind of looking for us to have a motion to refer it to the planning board tonight. And we'll
we did.
memorializing.
The last one referring to the redevelopment plan.
Okay.
Right.
That's what yes. Thank you.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call. And this is authorizing to refer the amended waterfront redevelopment plan to the planning board.
That's correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Novak?
Yes.
Buchanan?
Yes.
Delina?
Yes.
Enriquez?
Yes.
Kilpatrick?
Yes.
McGill?
Yes.
And just so I understand correctly, then the other two resolutions will just be placed on the consent agenda list at the next meeting. Thank you.
Okay, at this point, I'm going to open to the public portion, any and all items. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Council President. Jim Robinson, 11 Burrell Square. I know it was only introduction tonight at 4:48:19 in the public. I'm not sure what date the public hearing will be. I thought I heard you say 2 different dates in May.
No, it's May 13th.
May 13th.
There's a
So that's
special-
the regular council meeting.
Right, there's a special meeting that's going to be held by the planning board, I believe, on April 24th.
Okay, and if folks have comments that they would like to transmit prior to that hearing, to whom should they do that?
The planning board hearing or to the council hearing?
Well, I guess to the council.
You can do it give it to the
clerk.
borough clerk.
Okay, I just looked at this now, and I have 2 very quick comments. With respect to Camelot 2, it talks about the concept plan, and there is a concept plan in this ordinance, but this concept plan, I believe, differs from previous concept plans in that there's no pool on this concept plan, and my understanding was that there was going to be a pool at Camelot 2 in previous discussions. And I also see that playgrounds are permitted accessory uses, but they aren't mandated. And it doesn't look, it's I just got this a few minutes ago and was really paying attention to the,
Yeah, you know what
to the Girl Scouts because that was pretty interesting, so I didn't have time to read this.
Our COA litigation counsel gave us to this, very shortly. So any comments that you have, Ms. Robinson, please, you can email me or email the borough clerk.
Okay, after I take a look at it.
We've got some time in which to listen to the comments.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Anyone else from the public? Yes, sir. Absolutely.
My name is Ren Jankowski from South Edward Street. I have a problem with the road, and I know that you have a list, but I've contacted a couple of yous about it, and
Red, if you could just hold the mic a little bit closer because they're having trouble.
I've talked to a few of yous about this, and I talked to Jay actually there. He tells me I have to go to Bernie to get an okay to do something, but this is trying to get into my yard, and I've only lived there since 1970, and they haven't done anything on the street to begin with. South Street. Now, thank God for Joey McCoy because he comes in and patches the hell out of it, but it's sinking. And in the snow and the ice, he comes by a few extra times and puts salt on it to try to get the ice out of there. But usually every day, this is what I pick out of these holes. I don't want you to touch this, Tur. But this is what comes out of that thing. It's like a washboard there. Now, we have school buses go there. You can tell when you have the regular drivers, they go like when they go over the, like a railroad track, they crawl. A relief driver, the poor kids are hitting the roof. And that's what it looks like. I could sit there and drink my coffee and watch the kids go like this. And it's a dangerous thing. And it's the whole street. It's not, it's these things are all cracked, and it's like a spider web. But you can't get into my driveway, and it's, it's getting now. When McCransky was here, he did North Edward. He had North Edward done, or South Edward, I'm sorry, and he put 2 drains in front of my house. But you can see this does not go to any of the drains and stuff. So.
Jay, can you just fill us in on the history?
Actually, no, I think we'd have to take a look at it. That's why I suggested contact Mr. Bailey, let him take a look at it.
I'll talk
If
to
he
him
has
tomorrow.
issues, we'll help him and try to come up with a way to resolve the problem.
What got me here is I was riding through town, and I have the list, and Jay's partner, I seen he was getting it done, and he wasn't on the list, so it got my dander up, but evidently it was public service doing it in front of his house.
Yeah, a lot of the streets that are getting done right now are through PSE&G because we have an ordinance that says they have to go from curb to curb. So they're going around a lot of the streets right now.
Right. But this is, I'm sorry, but since 1970 or something, they've done nothing on this street except for Joey. And Joey comes here and patches the hell out of it, but there's only so many times you can patch it.
Sure.
Before you got a lake.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping you can help me out, but I will see Bernie tomorrow.
Yeah, contact Bernie and then we'll get over to Jay and we'll
Okay. I
work on the
appreciate
issue.
it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ren.
Leave this here? Or?
Yeah, please, just leave.
Gee, thanks. I got some on my street, thank you.
This picture back? Yeah. Anyone else from the public? Yes, ma'am.
My name is Patty Tauber Kreitner. I am a Melrose resident. My friend over there wants a whole street. My requests are more modest. I live in Melrose on Oak Street, Lower Oak Street. It's the block behind Club 35. Now, I'm not complaining about the people who don't want to get caught by their girlfriends, so they park on our street. I'm not complaining about the copious amounts of litter and condoms and booze bottles and drug baggies that are on the street. I'm not asking about the smell from the sewage plant, but we do have a problem on our block. You have Club 35 and then a dead end up the street, and it runs along Melrose Park. The dead end is poorly marked, and in this past year, I'm not complaining about the trucks that are in that big lot where our neighbors and I have had a combined total of 11 flat tires this past year. But what's untenable to me is the frequency of hit-and-run accidents, because it is a juice bar. There's no one monitoring the pour and the overpour and the inebriation in the clubs. There's, fights spill out into the streets. That's not my concern. My concern is I'd like to keep my tail lights. I would like to keep my side view mirrors on my car, and I would like to stop being sideswiped on this dead-end street with 14 houses. The dead-end sign that we have right now is an older model. It's not ultra-reflective. The post does not have any reflective indication on it. It's partially obscured by a tree. There's also a dead-end guardrail at the head of the street. What I recommend is that guardrail be reflective, the post be moved forward to where it's more visible, or extra signs, or paint across the street, where these drunk people leaving the nude go-go bar do not play pinball going down our block, because there's just been, we had a neighbor whose car was totaled entirely. We've stopped calling the police because they'll take a report, We've stopped calling insurance because we've got our deductibles. But it's a quality of life issue that I do please hope that you can address somehow. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. We do have the chief here, so I'm going to direct the chief if he can have traffic look at it and see how we can get better markings there, and an idea of how we can help the situation out. Thank you. Thank you.
Lower Oak Street, near the cross street of Forat, also
Thank you.
Anyone else from the public wish to speak? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move the public portion be closed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Move to adjourn.
Oh, no.
Closed session.
I've got just this, Mr. Merriman's here.
Okay. I thought, when you
Hold on
said
one
at the
second.
end, I thought you meant at the end.
One second. Dan, if you could.
Chief, I know we're going to go into closed session, so if the council would like you to come up to say a couple words that.
You're going to put it based on your report.
I'm sorry, for a couple things that council people have talked to you about the staffing and things like that.
Yeah, one of the things that we're facing now is an ever-changing community where we're trying to meet up with the requests for different services for different things that are going on that are very important to our community. And in order to be able to do that and move forward, we're looking to change the table of organization to include additional positions of supervision that will allow us to have a fully functional community outreach bureau, which we don't have at this point. We have a number of wonderful programs and a number of officers that are manning or that are promoting those programs. The problem that we have is because we have so many programs, we're looking to be able to manage them better by putting them into one bureau so that we can have more efficient effort on behalf of those programs, but also allow our officers to be able to get into the community and to produce additional programs that may be of need and of necessity.
Anyone have any questions?
Currently, right now, I know that we have at least one officer that has been spearheading a lot of our community outreach initiatives. The last time, I think I took a look at all of the things on this one individual, and she's really rallied the troops and asked for assistance where she can find. I think I counted somewhere around 11 or 12 different types of programs that she's putting together with the assistance from everyone else as well.
Yeah, we really have a growing group of programs, and we want to be able to consolidate that into one bureau. Patrolman Rebecca Romales, who is really our lead officer, has taken kind of the bull by the horns and has started to manage a lot of those programs. But in order to be able to do that, she's not able to get into the schools and do the programs she'd like to do as well. So it's much easier for us to have a supervisor and additional ranks so that we can coordinate, prioritize, and put our officers where they need to be, as opposed to trying to do the management of those programs.
I appreciate that. I think that a lot of other towns are probably looking to do similar things, but I know that Saraville, when we try to do something, we try to do it to the best of our abilities. And I think a lot of these programs actually help us in trying to reduce some of the problems that you might see around town. These are a great way to get young people and reach out to our older community too, with services and programs that otherwise they wouldn't have available.
Listen, I think the best way for us to be able to practice public safety within our town is to collaborate with all our individual communities. And that's what we're looking to do, is to better enhance that opportunity for our police department and for the borough.
Thank you, Chief.
Chief, is it possible for you to get together? I mean, I know South River has been doing this for years. Mark, the captain, the chief over there, you know him well. It's a really great idea. Is there any way you can get together a plan so that we could see what it's going to entail, what it's going to cost? Because just recently, we caught $120,000 out of your salary budget. I'm just wondering, how much is this going to cost? Is there any money left in the budget to do this? So, and then give the whole council some idea of, you know, what this would entail, and then we can sit down and discuss it like that.
Yeah, absolutely. My initial email was to kind of bring a little bit of information out to what we're looking to do, and if there was a request for a formal report, we would absolutely do that. So, yes.
I would be great.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Well, in the end, what we're requesting is a change of the table of organization so that we can add 2 additional spots. One would be, well, we're going to create a community special projects bureau. In order to do that, we want to add 2 additional positions of rank. One would be a lieutenant and one would be a sergeant to go along with the patrol officer and the other officers that are involved in these programs. That would fit right into our uniform division, so that our uniform commander can work on certain projects, and we can continue to move forward with the projects that we're currently working on.
And
So I would need an ordinance change in order to accomplish that.
And what you want to do is plug into these different communities around the borough.
It's very important to do that.
Yeah. They've been having some
Actually,
great
we're ahead of
projects.
the curve on that.
They've had a couple of great projects already, and the chief and I had spoken about it in the past, and I'm all on board with it. I think it's a positive for our community. You get a lot of good information when you have these events, and the community feels more comfortable with you. You get information you might not necessarily get, and you know, I'm looking forward to seeing the community department grow. So.
Thank you, appreciate it.
But I agree, you know, maybe you can get something for our next meeting. We're gonna put it on the agenda for the next meeting. But if you can get that backup data so that we have it, so we have a good, better, more information to make a decision.
Yes, we'll take care of that, and it'll be available.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
And it's now at, the Borough of Saraville has determined that whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, whereas the public body is of the opinion. I really crucified that, didn't I? It didn't just come out right. It didn't come out right. Sorry about that, folks. That such circumstances presently exist, now therefore be resolved by the mayor and the Borough Council of the Borough of Saraville, State of New Jersey. The public portion of the hereby is adjourned in order that the governing body may meet in closed private session for approximately 30 minutes to discuss the following matters: personnel. Following the conclusion of said closed session, the governing body shall reconvene the open portion of this public meeting to consider any other matters which may be properly brought forward at this time. The nature and content of the discussion which occurs in closed session shall be made public at such time as the need for non-disclosure no longer exists. The resolution shall take effect immediately. It's personnel and also agreement.
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, we'll be about 30 minutes. We're gonna go in 3:10. Well, then we'll go to the next room down. Who made the motion? The next one.
Did we just say we're changing it? What needs to be discussed? It's not a good idea. We cannot move through with the budget.
I might as well just go to the airport again. Oh, no, I was,
Need a motion to reconvene.
Is there a motion to reconvene?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Michael? We're going to do the first thing first, right?
You're just accepting
Resignation /
there's been a filing by Mr. Totten to resign and/or retire, and you are hereby accepting that this evening.
I move we accept the resignation / retirement of Mr. Taunton.
Second.
Roll call?
Really no roll call necessary. It's a receive and file item.
Okay.
And then,
One I handed you first.
And then there's a resolution, be it, and it is hereby resolved that the Water and Sewer Director is hereby suspended without pay, effective immediately in accordance with Ordinance 10-5-3.
Move the resolution be approved.
Second.
Roll call?
Oh, I'm sorry, what was that again? I wasn't taking notes. I just didn't hear what that was.
A resolution was just read into record to suspend the water and sewer director without pay.
Effective immediately in
I'm sorry.
accordance with.
We have to open up to the public, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. At this time, I'm going to open up to the public for any comments or questions. Any from the public wish to speak? On this resolution specifically?
Is there anyone?
Yes.
He has one.
Utility Director, I'd like to know.
Can you speak into the mic?
I'd like to know why.
Is it on?
Is it on mute?
Battery died.
Under what grounds, or why was
For
there
your
an
attorney?
investigation to begin with?
Mr. Merriman will speak on that. Mr. Merriman? Maybe we can turn the other mic on.
Now that we have an empty room, it might be better.
Bob, can you come up?
Sure. As this is a personnel action and the employee was riced and did not request anything to be discussed in public, I don't think it would be appropriate for the mayor and council to discuss any of the particulars with respect to a personnel matter.
So I have no rights to discuss my employment?
There are rights under the terms of the ordinance that was cited, and through the administrator, you'll be notified in writing as to how this will be handled.
And I did not have a right to be in that closed-door session?
You didn't ask.
It was a closed session discussing personnel items, so no, you would typically not have a right to be there.
Even though it was
I didn't
my
receive a
item?
response. I was supposed to receive a response by today noontime, Bob.
Right, I understand that, but I was told prior that if I didn't respond, it would be enclosed. I requested if I could go into the closed session. I was told I'm not allowed to be in the enclosed session. My attorney says I was allowed to be in the closed session. Which is it, yes, no?
I'm not aware of any requirement that the mayor and council have to open the closed session to anyone else.
I'd like to try to keep my personal stuff private. Don't want the whole world to know it. Thought I'd be able to defend myself in a closed session, speak to the council. And that right was taken away.
Well, again, you're going to be advised in writing as to any additional procedural protections you have and how this matter will proceed going forward.
And that's it. I have no recourse to respond or.
Well, again, as I just indicated, you're going to be advised, and we're going to notify you in writing as to the specific procedural protections you have and how you can address any issues going forward.
And we can't discuss anything now.
Well, again, I would not recommend to the council that the particulars of your employment be discussed in open session, since you did not request that take place. So they were discussed in closed session.
So the only way I have a chance to respond is for the whole world to be involved with it.
Again, you will be advised as to, your rights going forward,
No,
procedure.
but I meant today. Without going public for everyone, basically, to know my business, I would have had to do it in front of an audience. I don't have the opportunity to do it in private, like you have a private meeting. I thought I'd be able to respond to any questions, any allegations in private. That's
At this time.
keeping it private.
Yeah, at this time, no. The discussion of personnel, the law requires that employees be given the opportunity, if they want, they can have that discussion take place in public. It does not give individual employees a right to enter into the closed session discussions of the mayor and council. It just gives them a right to either have it in closed session or done publicly.
But the borough engineer, the CFO, they have a right to be in on my personal discussions.
They have a right to be in closed session for particular items they may be discussing.
Right, but it had nothing to do with engineering or.
Again, I'm not going to get into the specifics of what was discussed in closed session.
That's it? Does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask me that maybe I can clarify? I mean, I think this whole thing to begin with was just unnecessary. I mean, I don't know under what grounds, or I think I've done a pretty good job since I've been here. I think I've really improved the department. It doesn't seem like every time I try to follow the employee handbook, an ordinance, a union contract, somebody has a problem with it, and they run to certain people, and we just go backwards. There's no accountability, and I don't think accountability, they want accountability. You always try to do the best for the department and the citizens. That's what it's about. It's not about me, it's about the citizens, and they deserve the service, and we need to provide that service, and I tried to do that, but when you try to make certain people follow simple things, it seems to be a problem, and it's why this suspension even began. I don't know what triggered it. I have some ideas. You had a gentleman here for over 30 years who was never disciplined in the past, and all of a sudden it falls on me. I've had numerous discussions with people. I can't force people to listen to me. I can't force people to take my advice. They're their own person. They do as they choose. They make their own decisions. I can just try to guide them, talk to them, give them my opinion. That's it. And I hope this is not the cause of this, because I think you are making, in my opinion, making a mistake. I didn't want to bury my head in the sand like your previous director did. I took that active role on all the departments. I've had a lot of experience in this field, and I tried to guide people in the right direction. I've been successful in my career up until coming to Sayreville. I've gotten awards, accommodations from not only my company, Department of Defense, why it doesn't work here. It's just, I can't explain it. I can't explain it. I think some people have too close relationships with people, and it affects decisions that were made, and shouldn't be that way. If someone goes to a council member and has a complaint, I wish somebody would contact me and get the other side of the story, or let's get down to the bottom what the issue is. Not just take somebody else's word and go by what they say, and it's just not right. It's just not right, and I think I've taken this department to places it's never been before, and things that we do nowadays have never been done before. And you know, it's a great job for the staff, but it's not a retirement at the country club. We got a job to do. We have to do it in the best interest of the borough, in the best interest of the citizens. It's your job if you're getting paid to do, and you need to do it. And that's, some people don't like to hear that and don't like to be told what to do, but we have goals we have to meet. We have agendas we have to fulfill from the EPA, from the DEP, and we have to get it done. We just can't say no. And I don't think your previous director did any of it, to tell you the truth. I've tried to, like I said, make changes and do the right thing. I know where we need to go. I know what we need to do. And I could have very easily buried my head in the sand and ignored a lot of stuff that goes on, but that's just not in me. I'm here to do the right thing and the honest thing. And, you know, some people agree with it and some won't. It's a shame that you can't discuss the issue with me. I would have loved to have gone in closed session and discussed it with you, answer any questions you had. Like I said, I don't like the whole world knowing my business. I don't want to speak in front of a room full of people. I like to keep it to myself. And just not being able to respond or get feedback from any of you it's pretty disappointing. And I think it's unnecessary, and I don't think it's right. Like I said, my attorney said I have right to go into that session. But, you know, I just thought we'd be able to talk about it when you came out. How long until I hear what's the next step is?
Yeah, my understanding is you'll receive something in writing tomorrow from Mr. Franco explaining, you know, how your rights in terms of going forward.
I just don't know what else to say. It's not right. It's just not right, and I wish you people would reconsider and give me the opportunity to continue on and get the job done here.
Anyone else from the public wish to speak at this time? Sure. State your name.
My name is Jessica Slido, and I am Bob's secretary.
Just speak a little bit closer.
I am Bob's secretary, and I just wanted to let you guys know that I think that you are making a very big mistake.
We can't hear you. It's working.
Yeah, it's just not picking it up.
Is this on? Is this on?
Yeah, that's better.
I just want to let you know that I think personally, on my own personal level, that a big mistake was made. I think you did not give him a chance. I think you didn't sit down and listen to his side of the story or any of the workers that work with him directly. You're taking a couple of gentlemen that are disgruntled from a supervisor that retired due to personal reasons, and I think that it's just one big giant mistake. He has made great changes in that water treatment plant. He has made great changes in that water and sewer department. You have gentlemen working, you have gentlemen saving the borough money, you have them doing jobs that we would normally outsource to outside contractors. All he wanted was gentlemen that would go, get their CDL licenses, and start to perform and get the necessary licenses to do some of the work that is required of them. And because they didn't want to do that, this is the outcome. And it's not fair. It's been 4 weeks of limbo of us not having a director or a supervisor. It's been quite chaotic. It's shameful that you can sit there, not get the whole story from anybody other than disgruntled employees and make a decision like this. I just find it absolutely terrible.
My name is Rosie Caramella. I was 17 when I started here, and I got my foot in the door as a career here thanks to Mr. Smith and my previous supervisor, Mary Ann Downs. Coming into this career, this atmosphere where I'm at, never would I pictured I'd be here. From Mr. Smith becoming my director, you have advanced technologies, you have a brand new gorgeous building, you have vehicles that are equipped so the men that's our water department, our sewer department, our water treatment plant can operate and give a better workplace, however you want to say it. I can't even speak because this is just at the point of, you can't even describe it because it takes an emotional toll. We're like a family, and it's being torn apart over something so small. I don't even have words. I can't stop shaking because this is just, no one can say anything. Why? All of us want to know why. He's very smart. He's improved so much in our department. He's given us things that he fought for. You asked for it, he made a way for us to get it. You wanted a good, better program, we got it. How can you penalize that? How can we look past everything that he's done positively to our department, but everyone focuses on a he said, she said kind of atmosphere? If you would have talked to me 5-7 years ago when I first started, this is not how I would be right now. It's emotionally draining to walk through that door. Emotionally draining. And this is it. It's really upsetting. It really is. And I'm not one to, to do something like this, but what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong.
My name is Jeremy Clark, and I've worked in the water treatment plant for about 6 years. He's been my direct supervisor since he started. And he has always pushed and strived me to do better in my job. Whenever we needed something, he would get it for us. We're very lacking in tools and equipment to be able to do the job that we needed to do. We're able to do more than we've ever been able to do now. And he's been the best boss I've had. I've been in private sector for most of my life, and I've had some pretty terrible bosses. He's been the best boss I've ever had, and he does not deserve this. He should be put back in his spot, and it's just wrong. I'm sorry. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public wish to speak? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Move the public portion be closed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
There's one more resolution.
We have to vote on that resolution.
Sorry.
Is there a motion for the resolution?
I think we had the motion in the second.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, just need the vote now.
Okay. Roll call?
Councilpersons Buchanan,
Yes.
Delina,
Yes.
Enriquez,
Yes.
Kilpatrick,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
And next is a resolution appointing the firm Barata as an investigator to handle an employee complaint investigation at a fee not to exceed $7,500.
Open to the public, please. Any questions or comments regarding this resolution? If no comments, I'll entertain a motion.
I move the public portion be closed and the resolution be adopted on roll call vote.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Buchanan,
I'm abstaining.
Delina,
Yes.
Enriquez,
Yes.
Kilpatrick,
I will abstain.
McGill,
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
4 yes, 2 abstain.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. You-
Okay. Do you need time, Terry, or? Okay, then I will open
Need to
the,
hand out the agendas, that's all.
Aye, aye.
Council President. The council needs new ones also. There's a new item added to the agenda session.
this time I'm going to call the meeting to order.
Yes, one item added.
Would everyone please rise to salute to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Terry, statement of publication?
Take notice that this agenda session of the Mayor and Borough Council being held on this 8th day of April 2019 has been advertised and posted in accordance with Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975.
Roll call.
Councilperson Buchanan.
Yeah.
Delina.
Here.
Enriquez.
Yeah.
Kilpatrick. McGill. Novak.
Just before we proceed, I just want to make sure Mike has passed out all the agendas. Mike, can you continue? Okay, go ahead, Terry.
Well, we just did the roll call, and the 4 ordinances that were discussed at the council meeting will be listed on the.
Does anyone have an objection on any of the ordinances that listed?
all that.
No?
Not necessary.
Okay.
Communications.
Communications, Administration and Finance, Councilman McGill.
Thank you, Council Chairman. Minister Department reports, none. B, applications received for bingo, raffle licenses from the following organizations: RIS Stanislaus Roman Catholic Church. Number 2, M&L Ulrich Elementary School PTO. C, received tax appeals from the following. And if you don't mind, I'll just give the names of those locations. 1 through 16. I like that.
Thank you, Terry.
The authorization for the tax collector to refund 2017 taxes in the amount of $2,919.45, 2018 taxes in the amount of $7,001.13, and 2019 taxes in the amount of $875, and cancel all subsequently billed taxes covering 49 Frederick Place, Block 442-11, Lot 215, due to the approval of 100% disability veteran tax exemption effective July 31st, 2017.
Anything else, Councilman?
Progress.
So you're looking for that approval for a resolution? On that last one, letter D?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Planning and Zoning, Councilman Delina.
There's no minutes and departmental reports. B, notice to Jason Municipality Property Owner. Number 1, notice of application before the Sayreville Board of Adjustments on April 24, 2019. Receive and file. 2, notice of an application before the Planning Board on April 10th from Leona Mary Ott Daniels, estate of Leon Ott, for a minor subdivision. Receive and file. Number 3, notice of ordinance adoption received that the Township of East Brunswick to amend their Chapter 228 zoning, receive and file.
Anything else, Councilman?
Progress.
Thank you. Public Works, Councilwoman Novak?
Excuse me. Bernie, myself, department supervisors, Jay, we met to discuss the finalization of last year's roads that are going to be completed this year and discuss, we're waiting for some information from Denise as to what we can afford to do for next year, but we're setting a priority for roads for next year. As soon as that's finalized, I'll make sure all the council people have it.
Thank you.
Also, on a personal note, many of you know I have 9 grandchildren. 3 of them are celebrating their birthdays today, and I would like to say happy birthday to Riley Novak, Nathan Novak, and Mason Novak.
Well, happy birthday. Okay, anything else,
Yep.
Councilwoman?
To the boys.
Anything else, Mayor?
Excuse me, and that's it, progress.
Thank you. Recreation, Councilman Enriquez?
All right, there's no minutes and departmental reports. That's it.
That's all. Thank you. Wow. Water and Sewer Environmental, Councilwoman Kilpatrick?
Thank you, Council President Buchanan. Let's see, there's no minutes and departmental reports. We've already taken care of letter B previously in the other session. I don't think I have to read that in, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Letter C, notice received from the NJDEP of an application filed with the DEP from the Middlesex County Utilities Authority for a plan approval, to divert a maximum of 357.1 gallons of water during any month at a max rate of 8,000 gallons per minute, I'm assuming. Am I reading that right? To trenches, sumps, points located at the MCUA pump station, receive and file.
Second.
Notice received from the NJDEP on a public hearing for the fiscal year 2019 annual fee report for the period of July 1, 2018 to June 30th, 2019, which will be held on May 1st, 2019 at 1 p.m. in Trenton. Sounded like a routing number. Receive and file.
Second.
And as far as committee reports, I'm just going to give a big thank you out to our water department. Many of you know, because you've received through Nixle or you've seen on News Channel 12 today, that we had a very large water main break today in front of, very near our middle school. It resulted in shutting down the road from Deerfield all the way down into Ernston. And maybe this isn't such a sad thing, but I know that the middle school and the high school, we had our first water day instead of a snow day. I'm happy to report that after countless hours, the guys were called out sometime around 11 o'clock last night. They finished up their work somewhere around 12 o'clock this afternoon. So you can imagine the amount of time and how tired these fellows were. We decided, even though it was not it wasn't necessary according to NJDEP standards, that we did want the water tested for the middle school, the high school, as well as the library, just to make sure that when the students and the public go into those buildings, that the water was safe, and I believe that those readings have come back already. Unfortunately, I do believe that schools will be open, although I'm not the superintendent of schools. We haven't received notification otherwise, but from the water department, everything is up and running. With that being said, I do want to say thank you, not just for today's work, but also we've had quite a few water main breaks over the last several days. One right here on Main Street. What I appreciate is when our residents really take the time to let our guys know how much they appreciate them. So I know that the water main break that occurred on Main Street, the family was very kind. They sent a thank you over to the water department, the sewer department, and also sent them over some much enjoyed donuts. So I really do want to take a minute and just say thank you, because sometimes we have unsung heroes. DPW knows what that's like, but I think our water and sewer, the guys, when you see them, tell them thank you. They go down into holes. They see things that you don't want to see. And sometimes we just turn the water on and just say, wow, it's a miracle, it's here. But the amount of work that goes into making that happen, those guys make sure that it happens for you every day. So with that progress, thank you very much, Councilman Buchanan.
Thank you. Under my report, letter A, there are no reports. Letter B, Sarah Memorial Post 4699, and the VFW is looking to kick off their Poppy Drive on April 22nd. I'd like to have that approved to come to our council meeting.
Second.
Letter C, coin toss request received from the Saraville Soccer Club. Everything's in order, Terry?
Everything is in order.
Okay, I'd
yes.
like to have that
Councilman.
approved. Letter D, application for the firefighter membership for Randy Litz, like to have that approved. And letter E, request from Morgan First Aid to conduct their annual door-to-door fund drive, I'd like to have that approved. Under my reports, I had something written down over here. The Commuter Advisory Board had requested if we would consider to try to bolster the park and ride, to see if we can offer a free month to anyone who is a new monthly rider. I don't know if it would cost us anything, it's just them parking, but it's gonna give them the first month free, and if they like it, they can continue on, and we can start getting revenues that way and start bolstering ridership. So I don't know if, what the council's pleasure is on that.
Sounds all right, but how would that work?
They would have to come and show that they're new
We would
monthly
have a-
rider
So they'll
with
get
their
a
monthly pass.
permit for the first month for nothing. But they
Yeah.
would have a permit.
For the 1 month, and they'd have to come here and show the permit, show the monthly pass, I guess, where they come here,
Well, they would come to my office and apply for that monthly pass, and I could have the girls just check the back records to make sure that they've never applied in the past. So it's for anyone or resident, a street address, what are we looking, I guess just the name? Just thinking out loudly here.
whatever
We'd have to know
procedures.
they're a sayable resident.
Right, whatever procedures.
Oh, they
we
have to. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Not all people who park in the parking lot are several residents.
Resident
Free one.
I think the free one just several.
Free one, just several residents only?
I really think that, to be honest with you, we allow everyone to park there and they pay
Yes.
their permits.
Yes.
So they're looking to bolster ridership. So I would say that anyone, just because of the first month is free, they're getting the monthly pass. Our goal is to fill that up first.
So
Secondly,
does
to
the
help
council
with
mind whether or not we're trying to fill it with
This
out-of-towners? We don't care, we just want to fill the lot.
Correct, and we only have a mid-June deadline with Academy anyhow. So it's something that we would have to do now and hopefully get the numbers up enough. It might be a moot point beginning in June or in June.
Why don't you offer buy one, get one free for May, June?
Sure.
Buy 1 month, get 1 month free for May and
For new,
June?
it's just-
For new members,
for new
yeah.
members, buy one, get one free, at least you can lock them in for 2 months.
That's good. Yeah, we've never put restrictions on the residency before on it. when we started.
The second month is the free month.
Anyone object?
No, not at all.
Okay.
All new residents, and it does not have to only be several residents. I'm sorry, all new applicants, not just several residents.
Correct.
Thank you.
And there's a difference in fees, correct, with residents, non-residents down the road?
No.
There isn't?
No.
Okay. Okay. So then that's something that we would have to look at down the road to see if that becomes an issue. Where our residents, we don't want our residents being pushed away.
Is this only for our parking lot that has not to do with Ernston Road?
We charge for permits for that too, correct?
I think you want
Park
to
and
push them,
ride.
I think you want to,
Park and ride, yeah.
Said park and
Yeah, for
ride.
the
you
park
want
and
to push
ride. I
them
would
to
say
our park and ride lot.
We don't want people parking.
Park and ride lot only.
Correct.
Yeah, we don't want more people.
Yeah, because that ultimately probably will be the spot to go to the park and ride. We need to have,
Can I ask one more thing? Effect was May and June, right? Is that what we said?
well, yeah, it'd have to be, right? It's
We're halfway through April.
April 8th already,
Yeah, you can't go April. I'm just
Yeah, May
wondering
and
when you
June.
want to make this effective.
May 1st,
May and June.
in the May month.
Thank you.
I know last meeting, I requested to have a meeting regarding the RFP, and I apologize, last week was very hectic. My daughter was in a play in her high school, and I do the sets, design and building for the play, so I was out of the box all week. So I want to see if we can schedule a meeting for April 15th at 6 PM here. For the EMS RFP, for the subcommittee and the fire, first aid, so that we can continue moving this forward. The next 15th, next Monday,
What time?
at 6 o'clock. That would be just something that'd be, not for us, not for the full council, it'd just be for a subcommittee, but I'm trying to schedule it now, yeah, it's not for the whole
Just
council.
subcommittee? Oh, okay, good.
Subcommittee, Dan, EMS, police,
Oh, wait,
this way we get a date and time.
all those sub?
No.
No, only your people. I got
Only
it.
my committee,
Okay, gotcha.
okay?
And could anybody also, if they have any information on that, I cannot find information on that bariatric phrase.
I need
Okay.
something in writing to put in.
And then 7:30 we have a subcommittee of Pershing Avenue. That's me, Mary, and Damon? Are you on the Pershing Avenue? If we can meet 7:30, since we'll have the police there anyway?
Sounds good.
And then we'll invite the public for that meeting?
Same day?
Same day, 7:30.
What, on the 15th?
Yes. Tax day.
Yes.
Yes, sir. And then how can we get notices out to the public in that area that's affected by the parking? I'll reach out to the chief and let him know. So we got those three. Okay, perfect. Let me get back to my regular agenda. Next one is the mayor's report. There's no report. Business administrator's report, Dan Franco.
Thank you. Authorization to appoint Joan Kimball and Elizabeth Curris as keyboarding clerk 2 effective May 1st, 2019.
Any objection? Go ahead.
Authorization to renew the shared service agreement with the Borough of Helmetta for the Borough of Sayreville to continue to assume the operation of the zoning and construction activities for the Borough of Helmetta for a term of 4 years with 1 year automatic 4-year renewal.
Any objections?
Authorization to extend HVAC and boiler repair, maintenance, and replacement contract to Titan Mechanical Services LLC for an additional 2-year term.
Any objections? Next item.
Public safety authorization to promote the following 10 individuals in the police department. Captain Patrick Kiernan, Lieutenant William Kilcummins, Sergeant Joseph Monaco, Sergeant Michael Thiel, Sergeant Dave Wilkins, Lieutenant Alfred Gavrin, Lieutenant Sean O'Donnell, Sergeant Jason Mader, Sergeant Joseph Brzezowski, and Sergeant Matthew Adlack.
Okay, next item.
Authorization to amend the current police table of organization to add the following positions to the Uniform Division: Lieutenant of Community Outreach and Special Project Services Bureau, and Sergeant of Community Outreach and Special Projects Service Bureau. You want to?
I know we kind of discussed it before, and right at the end, we said, well, we're going to be ready for this at the next week. I'm asking that we have a special meeting on this, particularly getting the financial information to Denise, because changing that table of organization would put us 2 more people short on the road. We are currently sitting at 85 police officers. We, just at the last meeting, we removed the request for 1 more police officer from the budget. And now we're talking about adding 2 more. You know, I think that we need to get this information from the chief, have Denise have the time to, you know, digest it and get back to us with a report, because, you know, we can do it, and then we can't approve the budget unless we change that and raise the tax rate. Before it?
No, because the public hearing on the budget is April 27th.
That's what I mean. We can't just change the table of organization without discussing the financial aspects of it. Because the money, I don't know exactly what the money's going to be, but we just took $120,000 out of the budget right before we adopted for police salaries. And that included his request for 1 more additional police officer. It's a lot more involved than just creating 2 administrative positions, because that 2 administrative positions would mean 2 less police officers on the road. It's a cascading effect.
Unless we push it out further into the year. I mean, that would be, you know, a possibility.
But I think
And the chief and I had discussed that about August-ish, because we're going to get some more people out of the academy and back on the road.
Yes, but
Because we were originally discussing, and I spoke to Dan and I believe Denise as well about doing it in the latter summer months.
Yeah, if we can possibly push it out maybe into, you know, that last quarter.
So hold off till August, possibly?
Well, I don't know
We'll get the
about that.
report
I
and
think we
review
have
it.
to, I think we were going to move for, because we only have 1 meeting in July, 1 meeting in August.
All
So
I'm
it's
saying
April
is,
now,
let's
so,
not introduce it the next meeting until we have all the facts and figures. You know?
Okay.
We have no idea
Okay.
what this is going to cost. I personally think it's a great idea, but I'd like to know where the money's coming from first.
Somebody will advise me when to put it back on the agenda.
We need patrolmen on the
Well-
road, guys. We need patrolmen on the road.
Sure we do.
So that would require us hiring, and hiring more, because we have 85 with 2 in the academy. They will be getting out of the academy just at the same time as we will have another police officer retire. That's going to mean we're never getting above 86. And in January of 2017, we had 91. We're going backwards.
If we put it on for next meeting, wait to see what the documents come in. If nothing comes in, if we don't get the financials on it, we can pull it. Because we're still, like Danny said, if we're agreeing to push it out until August anyway with the chief, so you would be able to digest those numbers potentially, and if you don't get it in time, then we can pull it.
The only thing is we have a public hearing on the budget on April 22nd, and then if you don't adopt then, you push that, I mean, you can have the public hearing and not take a vote. You can do that, but then you're gonna push that out until May, and we discussed, we really didn't wanna push the adoption of the budget out to that first May meeting.
It's not a good idea.
So I just wanna, bring all that out.
Just trying to
I mean, you can have the public hearing.
adopt in May.
Introduce. And
Introduce.
this in May.
I don't want to step on Danny's toes here because I know you were working with, you had.
Yeah, I had spoken to the chief about doing it and, being ready for August, but we're just trying to line everything up now,
Mhm.
so that we can move forward with that.
I mean, I can always have the ordinance prepared today. June, worst case scenario, we have it done at the end of June.
One in July, one in August.
With that
Mhm.
40 change, we got to promote.
What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I said let's do the budget first. Let's do the budget first and then work on this secondly, because we'll have more time to discuss it
So is there a time frame you're giving me to put back on the agenda?
for the first meeting in May.
First meeting in May to introduce an ordinance.
So it'll be on Dan's agenda again next week to discuss again with the numbers.
The financials, yeah.
Okay, next item.
Okay, authorization to recertify police patrolmen's list from the Department of Personnel.
Why are there 2 asterisks there?
It's added tonight.
Added.
Added today.
Have we looked at transfers or other lists? Almost list? Yeah.
I'm sorry, transfers from where?
From other towns. I know some, other transfers.
Right.
No, there's 2 different kinds. The rice list is people who were let go. The other one is the actual town-to-town transfers. They would have to, well, we'd have to have discussions. Both chiefs would have to agree as well. The town that the officer is coming from and the town they're going to.
List first.
And I know people have reached out. People have reached out to come. They're willing to take cuts to come here. Yes. Okay, so maybe that's.
Well, how do you,
we
how,
can talk with the chief with.
talk with the chief?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. 2 different ones.
Are we still getting
Yeah.
the authorization to call for the police list also?
Yeah, if we find something different before then. Okay, next item.
Authorization to appoint Mary Jean Bellotti, omnibus operator per diem, Office on Aging, effective May 1st, 2019.
Any objections? Next item.
And it was not on the agenda, but I just wanted to, we talked about it before, the buy a bench, we talked about it. We actually have the benches that have been, 24 of them are in Kennedy Park right now. We would like, we have people that have come forward and wanted to put a plaque on it to buy one. We're looking into put on a weatherproof type of placking, but we never really finalized that dollar amount of what it would take to buy a bench. And I'd like to try and get that because we probably have a waiting list right now of at least 6 people that want to do this.
Yeah. What's on average?
The cost of the bench, not with the labor, just the bench itself, was $635. Right, so the question is, are we going to pay it for at cost, or are we going to not cost, make money, or not make money?
It's defer costs.
What's the cost?
I don't know.
Bonnie would be able to let you know the
Yep.
cost of the install of a bench. Phil?
Yeah, the county does it down at Waterfront. Can't we reach out to like every other town that does this too?
I know at the college, if someone wants to put their name on a bench, it's $1,500. Yeah.
It's a nice bench.
Yeah, Middlesex.
Real nice.
If you want a tree, it's like 500, so.
I'll take a tree. No.
You want-
Can you have a tree and a bench? Can you have a tree and a
You can
bench?
get 2 trees.
You get a tree and a bench, maybe they'll give you a discount, I don't know.
Yeah, 3. 3 trees, yeah.
You got your own forest.
So I'll come back with a number.
Yeah, listen.
Next
That's it.
item?
Can how many benches did we have total, that we ended up purchasing?
24 to Kennedy.
24, that just went to Kennedy, okay? And we don't have, and that was our total order, was 24?
Correct.
Okay, when do we have to put in another? It's just, I was over at, when we had the really nice day, when was it, last week or the weekend before? I was over at Burks Park, where what a beautiful, I have to say, putting the rubber matting in is just bringing so many people, so many kids to both there and to our Borough Hall Park. But the benches over there and the picnic tables are completely dilapidated, warped, like you can't sit on them. So when we do our next round and we have to replace, I haven't looked over here lately, but the ones over there you can't even sit on. They're terrible. They're actually, I would like to have maybe Bernie send somebody out to look just from a safety perspective, because I don't want to see somebody getting hurt. This is Burke's, yeah, and it's being used, it's utilized so much anyway, but it's beautiful.
Anything else? Okay. CFO's report? No report. Borough Engineer, Jay. You're up again, Mike.
All right, I
Took care
had,
of them, didn't we take care of them?
we
last
did,
We did.
but you put it on the agenda again, so you want me to go over again?
No, we
You already
did not.
discussed them.
Okay, just want to make sure. No, we can do
Okay,
it.
anything else? Anything for executive
I had
session?
them on one, and I was told to put them on another, didn't
Sir,
read it.
no,
Anything for executive?
no, sir.
Okay, now we'd like to open up the public portion for any and all comments. Anybody have a comment? Anyone out there in the public have a, come on,
Yep.
Jim. Sorry, I didn't have my glasses on. I didn't see your hand.
Perhaps if I had worn a red shirt, you would have seen me.
Yes, I apologize. I came right from work.
Jim Robinson, 11 Burrell Square. What is the affirmative marketing plan for the Borough of Sayreville?
Well, it's,
You all voted on it.
yeah, it's the COA marketing plan for the respective ordinances that we adopted in the affordable housing that is coming in the borough.
Okay, so that's for the COA.
Right, and you should be aware, Jim, you asked me early on in between breaks why these ordinances or these ordinances and resolutions are up. They're up because the new special master had some administrative or grammatical changes to it. So just be aware, that's why they're up here.
Okay. But there's some other changes too, I think, that I talked about earlier, and I'll send you an email on.
You're going to comment and send me an email with
Yeah.
what you want.
Okay, thank you. And what are the amendments to the Riverton redevelopment plan that you're sending to the planning board?
What are the amendments? I mean, they're attached in the ordinance, that's River Road. Is that what you're looking at?
Are they attached to?
Yeah, they were
what's here for the
attached, they were attached to the, there's an ordinance for the, and you'll see the resolution.
Sorry.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
No, I just reached out. I'm sorry.
the resolution that was prepared by Mr. Ambrosio and passed by the Saraville Economic Agency has amendments. Unfortunately, my copy is not attached, but the
I don't
ordinance.
think there are copies of that on the table, though, are there? Because it's not a.
No, but this
covered tonight.
is just a resolution to forward it to the planning board, so I'm sure that if you ask for a copy of it, they can certainly get you a copy.
I would appreciate if I could get a copy of what those changes.
Sure, you know what, if you,
Call me tomorrow, Jim.
yeah, or send me an email, Jim, I can get it.
Okay.
Or email me tomorrow, Jim. I can find it on my computer.
Okay, good, thank you very much. I want to talk very briefly about a parcel of land. It's about an acre parcel of land on Bordentown Avenue. It's on the Saraville side of Bordentown Avenue, immediately adjacent to our well fields. It is right before the train trestle and before where the horse stables are, or horse areas, whatever that is. But it's in Old Bridge. Because prior to the realignment of the road was behind that parcel, and that was Old Bridge. When the road was realigned, the road was put in front of that parcel, so that parcel, which looks like it's in Saraville and is completely surrounded by Saraville, is actually in Old Bridge. And years ago, when I was planning board chairman, some development was taking place there. And it just didn't look like what ought to be taking place immediately adjacent to our well fields. And I told Mr. Cornell about it, and he checked into it, and they shut that operation down. I don't know if it was operating without approvals from Old Bridge. I don't know if the folks in Old Bridge even know it's in Old Bridge, because there are probably two people in this room that know that that's Old Bridge, because it's on the Saraville side of Bordentown Avenue and completely surrounded by Saraville. But in the last few months, I have noticed that there is a truck parking operation going on there, and I think there may be tanker trucks involved. It's not paved. There are no containment devices. There's no curbing there. And it's just not a good thing to have that kind of facility immediately adjacent to, in fact, over our well fields. So I don't recall ever seeing on the agenda that we got a notice as an adjacent property owner that an application for development was taking place there. It really looks like the kind of, it's not really development. They put up a couple posts to delineate where trailers should park, and trailers are parking there. It's the kind of thing that, you know, sometimes happens overnight without approval. And being where it is, the folks in Old Bridge might not know it's Old Bridge, as I said, but because of what could be in those trailers and perhaps those tankers and its proximity to our well fields, I just think that I wanted to bring it to your attention so that the appropriate officials could take a look at it, and if necessary, contact Old Bridge and see what's going on there and make sure that there's nothing there that could pose a threat or a hazard to the borough. Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Jim, we're going to have Dan Cole tomorrow.
I'm sorry?
We're going to have Dan Cole, Old Bridge, tomorrow.
Okay, very good, thank you.
I saw a building get put up there too recently.
Yeah, that's on the other side, isn't it, though? Side.
Anyone else from the public wish to speak? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Move to adjourn.
Second. Aye.
Thank you, everyone. Good night, Terry. Good night, Bob. Dan, good night. Vicki, good night. Jay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I just want to make sure I signed over. I gotta,
Good night, everyone. Good night.
All right, I'll see you in the morning. I had
Section 8? Go into closed session. Yeah, I find it.